It being 7 o'clock, I'm going to call the select board meeting for Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025 to order. Is anyone here for public comment? Nope. Review of minutes for March 18th.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for March 18th, 2025.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Next up is the update on the Depot Square mural project. Leah Della.
Hi, good evening. The cat's out of the bag. So in front of you also, you have printouts, and I, wanted to make sure that you guys saw this, a few days in advance to get time to digest it, in case there were questions or thoughts. I'm not going to be long-winded. I'm just going to say very quickly first, I want to thank the mural committee that took the time and effort to go through all the almost 20 applications we had and the rounds of revisions and whatnot. Julie being on the committee, Shad Quill, owner of Valhalla, Suhani Bhatia, who is the middle school art teacher, or one of the two middle school art teachers, as I learned there's two. And Danielle Shadow, who is the marketing manager at the Icon Museum, who has quite an arts background. So thank you to them for volunteering their time. This is where we are. The committee feels that we've landed in a good place. Why don't I talk about this? Let me back up to the beginning and say where we are with the process and the steps that are about to happen, and then go back to the design. So right now we are teed up and ready to go as of tomorrow morning, depending on how hard it's going to rain. But the power washing is step one. That's happening either tomorrow or Friday. DPW and the facilities department have both been wonderful and collaborative and helpful to work with, because it does take, a fair amount of coordination, as well as with Gary O'Connell, who's the owner of the Depot building, as well as the person who the maintenance and the upkeep of the wall is his obligation. And he's been nothing but accommodating and lovely. So power washing happening in the next couple days. And it'll be interesting to see what color this thing is when it comes up. Let it dry. Next up is going to be base painting. Sherman Williams has been wonderful to work with. They really studied what would be the best thing to try to seal this wall. That's the white square that everybody wondered if it was the world's most boring and puny mural. That getting really abstract, getting really, really avant-garde on it. The square has held up really well. It went up at the end of July, very beginning of August, and it's hanging in there. So base paint will go up in the next couple of weeks. Again, it's so weather dependent, but we are ready to go. 2 coats of base paint, let it dry, and then our muralists are ready to go for the end of the month. Last week of April, beginning of May. And they feel that they need about 2 weeks, 10 working days, if you will, to execute this.
That's it?
They're good, man. These are not rookies. These are professionals. Their name's right there underneath it. It's Artifact Studios, who until very recently were headquartered out of Worcester. They kind of spend their time between Worcester and Providence. They've done a lot of big time stuff in Worcester. They've done Fuller Park. They've done the Worcester Public Market, Har Motors. They've been nothing but professional and nothing but excellent to work with.
And forgive my
Yeah, bring it on. Bring on all the questions.
We're painting this, it's not like a billboard. We're not slapping something on there.
It is actually painted on the wall. So what's nice is that between the two layers of base paint, and then the multiple layers of decorative paint, and then the top coat, this is going to, the theory is it's going to actually re-support the wall and help with the longevity of the crumbling of that wall. So I think this is going to be, I'm really excited about this. I think it's going to be exciting for the community to see something like this just come to life. Again, DPW and facilities has been great that we are finalizing the legal agreement right now with all the ins and outs with the artist, but one of the key aspects of it is that the artist will be using the town scissor lift, which they're certified on and insured
Nice.
on, so that we can do this, as quickly and as efficiently as possible. So, yeah, so that's the process.
So Memorial Day parade, it'll
So
be done?
that,
Maybe.
if we get them on soon, it delay, we can lose a whole week. If not, so fingers crossed. And that's why, like, I hopefully will come to you and say, hey, we'd like to have a ceremony or an event down there and whatever. But I don't want to say it's going to be June this because I don't want to.
Mavis, you mean May?
Well, May, exactly. But that's what I'm saying is I don't want to say a specific
it?
date because we're so beholden to the weather.
And it's a little early this year too for Memorial Day.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but we're gonna do everything we can to move this along. Last thing to know is that if you look at where the railing piece is left and the landing between the two runs of stairs, you'll notice to the underneath it, it's just dark. That's because we're not gonna paint underneath there, one, because it's in really tough condition, but also because we're gonna be installing chain link fencing around the bottom of that staircase so that no one gets any bright ideas to try to climb up that unsafe staircase, period. They shouldn't be climbing up it, period. But also after this is installed, we don't want anyone getting a great idea that they want to go take a selfie with this thing on an unsafe staircase. So we will be permanently cutting off access to that.
that's gonna be unfortunate because I saw a couple kids snowboarding down those steps during the winter. True story. Into the road. So-
Into the road,
into the road. So
clearly the valedictorians. Yeah.
it's gonna be
Right.
released.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so it just, oh man, anyways, we'll see if we can land X Games for next year. But, so that's where we are. There's a rundown of, what all these different elements are and none of them, are out of left field. They're all very, touchstones and things that are familiar to the community. One of my goals is after this is up, I would love to have something in the park with like a short plaque or something like that with like an explanation of the different elements and like the day it was dedicated and things like that. I think that would be a nice feature. Just for those who might be, didn't grow up here or they're visiting and they don't know why is there a rug in the middle of it or, what those different elements really mean. So that's,
If I just would
Yeah.
like to say that I'm thoroughly impressed by how, the essence of the town is captured throughout this entire and the entire mural. Every step is it's pretty amazing, pretty amazing.
yeah,
So
they did
very
a
well done.
great job. Nope, they did a great job and the committee was wonderful with input and feedback and the community too. We went and put it out online of what are the elements you would want to see incorporated into it. And the comments we got are reflected here. They want to see the signature architecture of the town. They want to see the dam. They want to see the reservoir. They want to see the woods, So I think that when you look at it, it's Clinton. It's not a generic thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And all done with grant
yes,
funding
right.
as well.
Exactly. So a very, very small, the artist fee and all of that, there's a very small amount that's just going to go to the cleaning of the wall in the basement. So, but it's pound for pound, the most impact you're ever going to get. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
we would never have been able to afford this otherwise without that.
What would that ballpark? What would that?
You know what? When you just see the whole market price and you don't even want to ask, I don't even want to ask them what this would cost.
Yeah.
But it would cost X number of, yeah. So,
And-
but yeah, they're excited.
Yeah.
They like the town. They're excited about this opportunity. So it's positive.
And I'll just add, I mean, I love it. I was involved with the process, so I'm really excited to see what the final result is. And I think you're right. They have been, you've been the point person, but I feel like they've been open to every kind of, all the feedback and that the committee gave them. But we're also looking to, like we said on the committee, is one of the Clinton Public School art teachers and looking to bring in kind of a educational element to it.
Thank
maybe
you
in the
for
form of
mentioning.
like a coloring page for the younger kids and having hopefully the artists can maybe come in to speak to the older kids who have real passion for art. So hoping it'll be
Yeah,
a
we're
real
work-
community piece and
Yeah.
bring everybody together.
Yeah, we are working on that with all 4 of the art teachers.
Yeah.
So, because exactly, we want everybody, all generations to be excited about this and feel a sense of ownership with it.
Yeah.
So,
And I kind of love the, like, obviously, like you said, the touchstone was like, the what current Clinton currently looks like, but then I kind of nod to the history because I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of the feedback was, you know,
Balance.
based on like the history of the town, but also,
Yeah.
you know, where we are at now.
So these guys are kind of giving us a bargain on this, basically, is what
Oh,
we
yeah.
have we talked to them about, I don't know if they would want to do this, but like, would they want to put like artifact, you know, somewhere in like the lower right-hand corner, just so like,
Yeah.
even if it's only like this big, just so people can see like who
Who
did
they
it.
are, yeah. We'll let them sign it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, they have their own marketing and following and
Okay.
social media and whatnot. So trust me, this is an opportunity for them. And
Yeah.
they appreciate that as much as it's an opportunity for us. And so we're going to be, you know, as this process is going along, we're going to be putting things out there so that the community knows what's happening and who's doing it and all those type of things. But for sure. And
Great.
yeah, we're excited.
It's amazing. It's really, really beautiful. You guys should be really proud.
Thank you.
It's
So
awesome.
excited to see the end result.
I know.
Yeah. So,
Great. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thanks. And if anyone has any questions during the process, you know how to find me, just holler. Thank you.
All right. Next on the agenda is, we had the Mass Central Rail Trail Engineering Contract Award. But I'm going to ask to table that just because looking for a little bit more time to review the responses. So that will be on a future agenda. Next up, we have candidates for the appointment to town council, to the Council on Aging vacancy. We have 2 current openings on the council on, I'm sorry, I didn't bring my glasses. We have 1 opening and 2 people who were interested, Joseph Quintal and Patricia O'Malley. And they sent in letters that were in our packet.
Madam Chairman, I would move Joseph Quintel. I know when we appointed the last individual,
Yeah.
his name was submitted. And I know that he's very active in the community and I personally know him. I know Pat too, and
Yeah.
she would equally be as well. And hopefully there'll be another vacancy at some point and she'll submit again. So
Yeah.
I would move Mr. Quintel.
Okay.
I'll second.
Right. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. And thank you to both Joseph and Patricia for offering to serve. We greatly appreciate the community involvement and your interest. But like Mary Rose said, Joseph did send a letter earlier when we had an earlier vacancy, so I'm looking forward to seeing him on that board. Next up is the town administrator report, and unfortunately, he couldn't make it to this meeting, so he said he will provide us some additional information at a later date. We have no administrative business at this time. Moving on to old and new business, personnel updates. I have a few notes, so I'll just read from them that the town administrator provided in his absence. So he said he's out of the office and will provide more information at the next meeting. I'll add that we did meet on some budget items with the finance committee regarding the town administrator search. And we are planning to move forward and post that shortly now that we've agreed on a salary range. Next up is the IT upgrade.
Madam Chair, just.
Yes.
Is there an estimated timeline on when that would be posted?
I spoke to HR today and we are hoping to meet very soon. And I think we're just gonna put together just kind kind of a tactical list of where to post it. So I can maybe send an email with that follow-up, but I don't have an exact date. It might just depend on when we can get together, but I'm gonna provide a write-up and, we're gonna, I think we said we were gonna bang it out as
Okay.
fast as we could,
And then
is the technical term.
as far as the building commissioner, has there been any updates on?
I do not have any updates at the, that I'm aware of right now, so we can follow up on that as well.
And then as far as the assistant town administrator position, that's gonna be tabled until,
I mean, we can discuss that, but
Okay.
currently, right now, we've tabled it until we find a town administrator. You know, those plans might change depending on,
okay,
you know, as the weeks go by, but it's currently where we stand.
very good.
Right. IT upgrade project update. New email accounts have been created in the cloud, and the consultants are testing data migration as it's the first time working with our provider Network Solutions. Workstations have been set up at the fire station. The police station is waiting for the consultants to complete CGIS certification so they can turn over management of their servers. Company is currently managing town network and conducting offsite backups. Remaining workstations will be deployed in April, and the new phone system will be issued to employees after the workstations are in place.
Do we have an English translation for that?
I don't know if we have an estimated wrap up, but
Okay.
I don't know what C.
All right.
I'm imagining it has something to do with
It's progress.
like their documentation, like their
Sure.
records
Yeah.
management system, where I think the police chief was talking yesterday about certain timeframes in which they have to keep records.
yep.
And I'm not gonna assume, I guess I just assumed, but I can
withdraw.
get some clarification on that. ARPA project and reporting update. The only project update is that work will begin the week of April 7th for the replacement of the town hall auditorium floor. All projects obligated by the select board have been reported to the federal government, and the spending portal just opened this week to record all expenses paid in 2024.
And do
Yeah,
any timeline on that? I mean, the floor's gonna be done by town meeting, right?
Yes.
Okay.
okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Next up is the class of 2026 after prom event donation request. The Clinton High School class of 2026 is requesting a donation from the Civic Fund to support their annual after prom event that provides a safe place for students to go after attending the prom.
Madam Chair,
Chairman, I'm sorry.
please.
I'll move that we give them, I think the request was 500.
Yeah.
If we have it, definitely. I think it's, when they started that after prom event, I think it's the most fantastic idea they ever came up with. So I fully support it.
And I fully second.
Any discussion? I'm gonna abstain. My daughter is in that class, but, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained, 1. Library Building Committee representative, the Bigelow Library Board of Trustees has invited the Select Board to designate a representative to serve on the Library Project Building Committee. Didn't know if there was any interest from anyone on the board to,
86 Orange Street's pretty well represented on that
Mhm.
committee, I think, so. Okay, unless you're in a pinch.
I would be willing to do it if there's nobody else interested.
Not interested.
I mean, we have time or plates full.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see if we can get some numbers, as I mentioned,
Yep.
a previous one.
Yeah, similar to how the school handled
Yeah.
that. Yep. Okay. All right, I will volunteer. Next up is the 8th grade mock town meeting, a fan favorite. The teaching team from the Clinton Middle School 8th grade is requesting use of the town hall auditorium for Wednesday, June 4th, 2025, from 9 a.m. to 12 noon to host their annual mock town meeting conducted by students. So
Does
just,
that require an approval?
yeah, let's just vote on it. I know.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the request by the Clinton Middle School eighth grade class
Second.
to use the town hall auditorium for Wednesday, June 4th, 2025, from 9 to 12 to host their annual mock town meeting.
Second.
Second. And also,
Yeah.
having been to it,
Yeah.
I know they take a break and there's never any refreshments. They walk down. I think it would be a great idea if we did like some donuts or something for them, have some drinks,
That's a great idea.
and maybe take it out of the civic fund. I just think it,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
make-
9 to
make a
12,
good
they
point.
walk down, they take the break and it's at least a 20-minute break. Have some, small refreshments for them. It's a big group of people that come down, kids that come down, so
And
I
It's
think
often-
maybe
yeah,
for
that's a
a
great
couple
idea.
of $100 or $100, just to have something, juices or
Yeah.
milk or whatever.
yeah,
But,
Yeah.
so I'll make that in the form of a motion.
I'll second that.
If we have the money for it,
yeah. Okay.
just a nice little gesture for them.
Yeah, sometimes it lasts longer than the actual town meeting, so.
Well, yeah, I mean,
And they just put
and
a lot
again,
of effort into
I
it.
mean, little kids or younger kids, they
Yeah.
like to have something to
well-
drink or a donut or something, so.
Want to make town hall welcoming to them. So they
Right,
have a positive
absolutely.
impression of it. All right, so it's been seconded, so any further
So we're going to
discussion?
the snacks first. And
Um,
I just had a
Well, I
question.
think we did didn't we?
I don't know if we actually
voted on it.
finished
I don't think
voting
we
on it.
did.
So we'll vote on the approving
just-
the town.
Discussion.
Yeah,
I haven't been to this thing and I have an eighth grade this year.
Yeah.
How do we
no,
pick?
it,
I might be on someone's no-fly list. So
no, it's more just, usually
I think I was chair
it
during
comes
the
to the
pandemic.
chair.
Maybe
and-
because we had masked up back then.
I think I went when my daughters were doing it. You went when
I
your
went
niece,
because
when your
Grady was
nephews
there.
went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I could,
you,
if I get the time,
I've gone
I'll
the
go.
last
So,
couple
yeah.
years.
you can certainly be our
Or doesn't mind.
select board representative.
Okay.
It's a great event. It's actually really fun.
I just
fun
sat
to
there
hear.
and observed
I know.
the thing. It was fun to watch,
Yeah.
them ask the questions and get the answers, and it's fun. It's a civic
Yeah.
wise, it's fantastic. For
Yeah,
them.
and
Yeah.
it's
It's a
recorded.
good program.
Yeah, it's recorded
Yep.
too. So sometimes the other classes at the middle school will be watching it, and usually gets way more hits than our own town meeting.
I intend on
You're gonna go-
attending as well.
Okay.
Yeah, just
I don't think I can, so that's perfect if everyone else can participate. I'll also note that a lot of the department heads and many staff members too participate to give some added context to some of their things. So it really ends up being pretty awesome. So let's vote on the town meeting approval of their usage. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. And then to make a donation from our civic fund if the teachers are amenable to that.
do you want to say 200 or?
Yeah. Or,
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'll say 200 just to cover it. Yeah, yeah. I'll make a motion that we take 200 out of the civic fund to have refreshments, and certainly with the approval of the school.
Yeah, right.
We don't want to do something that they're
Right.
not
Dire
in favor of, so
Yeah.
that would be my motion.
Minimum would be water. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
No peanut
With the permission that,
Yeah. Yeah.
schools are okay with it.
Second.
All right. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Um,
Opposed?
Since we're running ahead of schedule, one thing that was been on my fantasy list for a long time that might someday tie into something like this. There's a theory practice called participatory budgeting. And sometimes you can, some municipalities put forward a slice of money, $10,000, whatever, to let people in the town decide. And I always thought it'd be fun, like if we had an extra $1,000 to let this class or the senior class, especially like if they were, and it doesn't have to be in a mock town meeting situation, but especially since senior class is going to be voting soon, to let them get together and think, okay, well, what could be our project for this year? And it encourages them to come up with ideas that might make the town better, and getting them used to, this is our tax dollars, and it's not their tax dollars yet, but how that money would be spent, and finding a consensus and arguing and back and forth. So I'll come up with a sharp report on that later, but I always thought something like this to put a little skin in the game, like, if they had $500 to them, that's a lot of money, but what would they do with that? Would they you know, whatever. So, again, I know this is a tough year for things like that, but, I got another year
Well,
left,
maybe
so.
it could be
we'll see if-
out of our civic fund or
Yeah,
something in the
so,
future.
again,
Yeah,
I'll sharpen the point on that
Okay.
later.
great.
um,
Yeah, I love that idea.
Participatory budgeting.
Nice. All right, any committee reports? Nope.
Conservation Commission's thrilled with our new, did we meet since the guy
No.
came last time? So he came to our last meeting and I know he started, I haven't, we spoke online, through the Zoom. I haven't seen him yet, but I know the chair is very happy. And he's already doing a lot of work. We were gonna do a budget thing last night and things got a little crossed, so they'll be at the 10th. And he'll be at that meeting, so everybody
I
can.
met him last week.
Okay.
Very nice. He
did.
introduced himself. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, seemed like a
They're
really nice guy.
very thankful.
Where is his office here or is it in,
Is he downstairs? He said he had a place to sit. He didn't tell me where it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Have a place to.
Tuesdays and Thursdays. He's there Sterling Monday and Wednesdays, and then Fridays he's in the field, so.
He was walking around with Denora, so
Good.
I was in the hallway, so I don't, I'm assuming he must have been downstairs
I
if
thought.
he was with Denora.
Yeah. And
Thank you.
I sent an email to the chair of the Conservation Commission, but thanks again for your patience and your assistance. Again, another all volunteer committee that helps us out with some critical things. So hopefully this will be some relief to them. But again, our thank you to them.
Madam Chairman, we did go out of old and new
Oh.
business, but can we just go back for a second to old and new business?
Sure. Yes.
And I'm surprised Matt didn't bring it up, but having been on the coaching staff, but the Clinton basketball team this year went further than any team in the history of the town. And I know a few years ago, we had the Little League group in when they became the champs. And I think it would be a wonderful gesture on behalf of the town to invite the Clinton basketball team in and perhaps do some citations for them
Sure.
individually and have them come up and recognize them. And, you know, the coaching staff, if they would come, I think it would be, I'm certainly proud of it. I had two nephews on the team, but even if they weren't on the
Here
team,
we
Yeah.
you know, just the accomplishment for a small town is incredible. So, if
We can
it's-
reach out to
you
them.
know,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll make a motion that we try to put something together, and, I mean, I'm sure you could
Yeah.
maybe, you know, float it with the superintendent or someone up there to see
Yeah.
if it's something that they think is worth,
Absolutely.
I think it's worth doing. I think that's a hell of an accomplishment.
Yeah.
But
Agreed.
I'll second the motion.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And I will say the Clinton University baseball team won today. They're
Oh,
rolling,
nice.
So. 9-0.
Co-op lacrosse won yesterday.
Hey,
We're
listen,
rolling.
for a
We're
little town-
rolling.
For a little
Oakland.
town, we have
Yeah,
some wonderful
exactly.
athletes,
I
and
know.
I'll tell you.
I know. Yeah. It's fun to see the kids out there.
Yep.
And much, many thanks to the coaches that helped them too. And I think that wraps us up. So,
Accept a motion to adjourn.
Second. Oh, accept motion first. I move
Oh.
to adjourn.
What do you say?
at the,
No, you were.
Accept the motion. I thought somebody made a motion, sorry.
okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Meeting adjourned.